But so he offered me, and I reluctantly committed to NNU. I remember crying in my room that night because I didn't feel like it was where I wanted to be. I mean, God totally worked that for his own good. And so the end of my senior year, I became a Christian. I gave my life to Christ. Still apprehensive about NNU, but I knew that God could work in me here, and I was giving it a year. That's what I was telling God. I was like, God, I'll be at NNU for a year, and then lead me somewhere else.
About August, just about a week before school actually starts, so I was registered for classes at Boise State when I was still expecting to hear from the coach. So he talked to the coach, and the coach contacted me, and they were asking me some stuff about where I was from and my religious background, because the school and the coach wants that kind of foundation from every player that he recruits. So then I just got a call on a Tuesday saying, "Hey, where are you?" I'm like, "I don't understand what you're talking about." So he said, "You're supposed to be at practice today. You didn't get the packet?" I was like, "No, let me check the mailbox." And I checked the mailbox, and there was the scholarship packet.
I tried to transfer my freshman year. I actively tried, and I had an offer at this great school in Southern California that I thought was my dream, and I went on a visit, and I came back, and I don't know, I'd never felt like I loved NNU before, and then like in that moment, I knew that this is where I belonged. But I remember I was at outdoor conference for track my freshman year, and the California coach called me and offered me a scholarship, and I didn't even think about it. I just said no, and he was floored, like so surprised, because I had put in so much interest into that school. But I just told him, I was like, I think this is where God wants me, and I'm gonna listen to him. I was like, I wanna see what he can do through me here. And that was it. Like I said no, and I just remember kind of talking to God and just praying a lot and praying that he'd provide for me here, and that he would really show me that this is where I was meant to be. And through a series of events, I didn't have to pay for any school my sophomore year. He provided for me in every single way that I was worried about through different scholarships. And I just knew, like in that moment, that God had me here for such a bigger plan and purpose than I thought, and I knew at the moment, but he was providing for me, and he was going to continue to provide.
All my life I've been going to public schools. So I went to Boise State, which is a school where, it is huge. You're just one out of 23,000 students, and you never get that one-on-one experience. You never get that feeling of being part of something bigger. When I came to NNU, that's when the differences were very, very clear, that I moved from a dry land into the sea, or I moved from the sea into the dry land. It was plain clear, and it's just some really little things that you walk up to school and you see everybody smiling, and you see everybody willing to serve, willing to smile, willing to extend that extra hand, just that extra step to help you succeed. And when I speak with my mom these days, she tells me that you've changed, you sound different. She says, you sound different. What is going on? What is the big change? I told her I'm in school. She was like, hey, no, it's not just school. You've always been in school. What is different? I was like, oh, I changed school. She was like, what kind of school do you go to now? I said, I go to a Christian school now. Now she says, there is something really different.
I'm studying social work, which I didn't know that was the route I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a counselor, but just learning more about that course of career for me and taking different classes like really solidified this is what I want to do. And yeah, it's been busy. I played 2 different sports. It's been incredible, and the people I've met and the community here is unlike any I've ever seen or been a part of or heard of. And my professors, like Professor Stensgaard, has supported me since my freshman year when I told her I didn't want to be here till now, and she's supporting me in trying to figure out what I want to do in a year when I'm graduating. I've just never felt so supported before or encouraged to do what I love.
You are here, they want you to succeed. It's not just, hey, sign that paper and give it to me and I'll go grade it. It's not that, it's beyond that.
Thank you to the people who do provide funding for students here in NU, I will never be able to express my gratitude. I don't know, like, this school is not the cheapest school, but it's so worth it. Every penny is so worth it to me. And just seeing how God has provided me with these different scholarships that so many people deserve, but I am lucky enough to receive, means the world to me. It makes me just want to be that much more successful. Knowing that there's people who believe in me and that are believe in the education that NU provides it's awesome, and it just makes me want to keep going. I hope that I can be in their position one day, being able to support students financially at NU.
Coming to the United States, this gets me teary because, these are people that I don't know. I've never met them. But they are financing my future, and I just cannot thank them enough. But I think they would expect me to go back and practice and extend that giving hand with what they've equipped me with into my future.